Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to Club Collab on a Tuesday. If you're watching on Instagram, I am also live on YouTube. To get the full experience of the show today, is you want to jump over to YouTube, so that way you can get the full experience. I'm gonna let a couple people jump on. Guys that are jumping on YouTube, just hold on for a minute, and while we get people getting on, I'm also gonna wait for Ryan to hop on. Hopefully Ryan is getting ready to hop on here. So what's going on, everyone on Instagram? What's up? What's up, Ryan?
Hey, what's up, Max?
What's crack-a-lacking?
Bro. Same old, same old.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm also live on Instagram. I'm trying to get people from Instagram to come over to join us on live on YouTube. So I'm gonna make a quick announcement here on Instagram for you guys that are jumping on Instagram. We're actually live on YouTube. Um, Love for you guys to join us, so that way you get the full experience, and that way you can join us. The conversation me and Ryan are actually on right now. So if you want to join us over on YouTube, I'm going to stay on for I'm going to stay on for a little bit here on Instagram, because what I want you to do is come over to YouTube and join us, so that way you get the full live experience. So what's going on, Ryan? What's new, bro?
Properties. Getting some more properties, Max.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Like to have that. Working with some new wholesalers. Picked up some.
I think your sound went out, bro. I don't know if your sound went out or not. What's going on, everyone on Instagram? We're live on YouTube. If you want to go over and join us, we're live there now. That way you get the full experience of the show. Me and Ryan are actually on. Come over and hear the conversation. Join us. I want you to hop on. For those of you that are on YouTube and Facebook, bear with us while we get our Instagram crowd to come over. But we've been going on live on YouTube now for the past 3 weeks now, Ryan? I want to say.
Yeah, I believe so. 3 weeks.
Yeah, so if you guys have not seen us on Instagram on Tuesday nights, it's because we're over on YouTube. Last week was awesome. I went through our what is it called, option agreement, and we talked about quite a bit of stuff. So if you want to come and join us, I'm gonna be on Instagram, and I'm gonna make one more announcement, and then we're going to go full battle. So it's been a crazy week, bro. Last week and this week, I think already, right? I think Tuesday's finishing up today, but it's been a crazy week. Tell us about it.
Yeah, a lot of action. Got a lot of local, a little bit more local this week than last week, so to speak. But JV partners, looking to partner up. They need help finding buyers, so we're excited to help out with that. So got a lot of concentration with finding buyers. And then just recently, a couple out of state deals in Georgia. Actually, one single
Nice.
family and one land potentially. So we're looking at those two pieces right now. So quite a bit of action since we last connected, Max.
Nice. Yeah, I think so. I think that's why I asked earlier. Like, let's see what we can talk about today. I know we were supposed to have Carlos, our lead manager, but he had already something scheduled, so he'll be on next week. Huge announcement. So we're gonna bring on Carlos next week, next Tuesday. You don't want to miss. You want to make sure that you tune in. We're gonna bring in Carlos, so that way he can talk about how to follow up. It's gonna be a great show next Tuesday, because he's gonna break down his processes to follow up. How long should you follow up? And yeah, way you guys can ask all the questions that you want when it comes to the lead manager position. So one more time for you, those that are on Instagram, and I'll be on here just for a little bit more. We're live on YouTube. Join us over there. I'm about to go off here on Instagram. So if you are live on Instagram with us, jump over to YouTube, so that way we can get started. We'll talk to you guys later. All right, bro. So that's done. Let's go. Let's see. Who do we got here on? Who's on right now with us? Drop a comment where you're tuning in from. Let us know where you're listening in from, what market you're in, and also not only what market you're in, but let's see how maybe we can work together, right? I think the whole idea of the show is to figure out how we can work together with you. where we can help you, where we can, where your challenges are, and let's see if we can break those challenges down so that way you can, you know, Ryan can help you out, or myself, or one of our team members, depending on what your challenge is currently. So the deals, the land deal, where's that one at, Ryan?
That's actually in Georgia, Polk County, Georgia.
Nice.
I can't remember what city it is. I just only remember the county, but pretty big plot of land. Getting it locked up actually as we speak.
Cool.
But yeah, we'll see. See where it goes. We're looking for buyers right now, going through the process and seeing who's interested.
Yeah. So last night we attended. That's one thing I probably want to spend a little bit on the show about, right? We were at the Arizona, at the AZ RIA, right, which is I think one of the biggest ones in the country, the AZ RIA, and I was on a panel. You guys were there too as well, to talk about out of state investing, right? So I know there was a lot of questions in regards to, what were some of the challenges, some of the things that you want to look out for, and some best practices, right? When you are buying properties in another state, because obviously you're not there, and if you don't have the capacity to fly out there, you got to figure out how to do it, right? You got to figure out, use some strategies. So what were your if you would say last night, some of the stuff, because obviously it wasn't just me speaking, but it was
Yeah.
Marcus, and it was also Greg. Greg's a big buy and hold guy. I love to bring him on one day. Maybe we'll make that connection. So what was your big takeaway, last night on that panel about the, just basically what some of the things that were talked about we can share with our audience?
Yeah, some things actually everyone had a little different experience with breaking into markets out of their own territory, right? So it doesn't matter if you took action first, kind of like what we did, right? We jumped in head first and then started kind of to sort out what we needed to determine and what we needed to figure out. And then one of the guys, I think the guy you mentioned, I can't remember his name, he did all the
Greg?
research up front. Greg, yes, right. He's
Yeah.
complete data person, right? Did all the research up front, found out what he wanted to do, and then attacked it that way. Then Marcus was kind of a combination of the both of us. So really what I took away from it, there's a lot, but just what I would like to share is it doesn't matter which way you enter the market. You take action, you're going to find success as long as you don't give up.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think you're right. I think Greg did his homework, did his research. He actually flew to every single market that he was starting in, and obviously, not everybody can do that. He was in a position to do that. But I don't think you necessarily need to do that. I think one of the big things that started that one of the most common themes that was talked about is network, right? Because and well, let me back up here a little bit before that. One of the biggest thing that was talked about, that was one of them. I'm gonna hit on that one, but I think the one was knowing to recognize what a deal is, right? Because I think I don't know if you remember that conversation.
Yeah. No, that was another one. That's big. I mean, because that's, as you know, that's one of my challenges. Every day to make sure that one, we recognize if it is a deal, we don't pass on it, we don't take too long to make a decision on it, and if it's not a deal, we don't waste too much time on it. So there's those three things you got to constantly balance in a efficient way.
Yeah, so we had that, right, and then obviously the one thing was that if once you get experience, right, because even here, even if you're in your local market, you can struggle to know how to comp a deal, know how to look at a deal and say it's a deal. But once you learn that, you can take that to another market and almost use the same. Would you say you could almost use the same strategy? Just understand what the price points are, and then the property. I think that's really what comes into play. What do you think about that?
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. It really is. Don't overcomplicate. It's you're doing the same process just in a different area, so you still got to do the basics and everything is the same, and then from there, like you're saying, make the adjustments as needed based on where you're at and other research that you may have done, but the approach is still the same basic approach.
Yeah, and I think that was one thing that I took away was, if you can understand what a deal is in your local market, and you know how to put a deal together, when you go to another market, the obvious adjustment is going to be, the conditions, the age of the homes, because a lot of times, there's some markets where we talked about that, right, where you have 1800s houses, right, 1900 houses, where you have to make an adjustment for that. I think Marcus made a very good point about that, and he said that, there was where, what did he say? There was like $100,000 difference or something. Do you remember that conversation? What he said?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he said, yeah, the difference between, I think he was talking about somebody else doing the flip in that area, but he said, well, the difference between yours and mine was in 1900, so it was 100,000 just in the rehab cost.
Oh yeah,
Something
because
simple.
somebody in the audience actually did mention to or did ask that question. Yeah. So no, that's interesting. That, and then the second thing was what we initially made mention was the networking, right? I mean, I think that's what you want to talk. You want to talk a little bit about that, because what's crazy, like, because we do this for a reason, right? People want to reach out to us, collaborate with us, but what's crazy is that the people that are reaching into us that are wholesaling in their local market, and this is where it was eye opening for me last night, was that they're in that local market, but they reach out to us, and we're using the strategies that we use here. Does you ever thought about that? What how we're doing that?
Yeah, that's that you put it that way, almost seems like we're simplifying what we do is pretty. It's not simple; it's easy, as far as what we
Yeah.
do. But yeah, they are reaching out to us, so I think that's showing one that they have trust in what we do and find value, in what we're sharing with them, for sure.
Yeah, no, that, and obviously they're finding value, but what's crazy is that the same strategy, right? Because they're in that market, we're not. So the same strategy that we are using here, we're helping them in their own market. That makes sense. Like when they're coming to collaborate with us, and obviously it's experience too as well, right? I think for the most part, obviously there's a little bit of experience, but just to point out the fact that when you are going to into another market, or you are in another market, we can even help you from here. I guess that's the point of what I'm trying to say.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, like you're saying, we have the resources, we have the skills, and we have the confidence that we know what we do works and it's repeatable as long as it's followed. So it's a little bit easier for us to to be able to guide them, with what they need to do.
Yeah, for sure. Jesse, what up? Let's go. It's your little brother, bro.
Yeah, yeah, Hesse.
Cool, cool. So then what else did you like take away from last night, the conversation? Because that's really what it was all about. The investing in other markets.
Yeah. I don't know if you wanted to revisit this or not, but again, you hit really big on networking, and I think that's huge. Everyone
Oh yeah.
talks about it. Everyone talks about it. And then once you start doing it, you realize how crucial it is. And I think maybe in the beginning, I'm just putting myself when I was in there, it's hard to approach people because you always, I mean, for me, me, I'm always like, oh my gosh, you're going to think I'm an idiot because I don't know what I'm talking about. And I've heard other people say that, and that's not the right way to think. We want to help. We don't expect you guys to know everything. That's why we're here. We're here to help, just like how other people helped us, get to where we're at right now. So again, networking is crucial to your career. It's crucial to advancing and getting better. So again, if you don't feel like networking in person, again, you can reach out to us. Social media wise, we can always connect that way as well.
Yeah, no, good point on that. I think it is a fact that networking, right? We talked about networking with title companies, networking with real estate agents, networking with actual what is it called, other investors in the area. I think one thing that kept go ahead.
The title company, you should talk about that a little bit more because that one got a lot of people talking, and it was even today spilled into today's at our office talking about it. And I don't think that gets talked about at all. As far as a resource, and I know a lot more about that than most. So why don't you share a little bit more about that, Max?
Yeah. So Harvey, what's up, bro? Thank you for joining us. Better late than never. Let's go. So glad you're joining us, brother. Share the stream with somebody they think that should be on here with us. Yeah. So I think one of the things that definitely when I we talked about it today in our morning meeting, and I also talked to Lena and Brittany a little bit afterwards, and because the reason why I brought that up, because that's what I was using when I first started. I didn't know, like when I very first started, I didn't know about how to have a relationship with title companies, and so when I first started working with Steve, right? Remember when I worked there for 3 months and I left. So Moises, the gentleman I partner up with, he had insight, and he's the one that showed me. He's like, he was getting leads from the title companies. He built, he bought so many houses that he understood how the title companies work. So one thing that I brought up last night, if you're just starting out and you're let's say that you don't have money to buy list, you don't have, I know there's programs now that you can buy, but back when I started there wasn't. So what I would do is I would go to the title companies, and this works in any market. It doesn't matter. Now attorney states it might be a little different. I don't know. That's something that you might have to check because I have never done this with an attorney state. But if you are in a title company, or a title company state or a title state, what you could do is go to the title company, and then when you call them, you want to ask them if you want to ask them to speak with their marketing department. And so what they'll do is they'll connect you with their marketing department, and then you can work with their marketing department to give you leads, because they have systems to be able to pull leads, so you can cold call, so you can do direct mail. The other thing I didn't mention last night, Ryan, was that they will also do flyers for you as well too.
Oh, nice. Yeah. That's a
Yeah.
huge, huge benefit. That's a big resource, especially for someone just starting and not having a lot of money to start off with.
Yeah, so you're exactly right, right? You have that tool, and I think the big thing was like it's underutilized, right? I mean, how many times did you go to a title company?
I do. Actually, I called somebody once. I'll tell you, I remember all this. This is before I reached out to you and Steve. Reached out to a title company. The guy at the title company was super helpful, but he was talking about stuff I just didn't understand. He just
Yeah.
was went off and here's a spreadsheet. Tell me what you want. And I remember just being completely overwhelmed, just like, cool. I think he's just trying to help me, but I have no idea what to do with it. And that was it. I never did anything else with it. And I never even thought about it until you brought it up again last night.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's well, I'm gonna hit on that. So Cash Home Buyers said you guys did a live last night. We actually here in Phoenix, we were invited to come and speak at the AZ RIA. So most states have a RIA, which is Real Estate Investment Association. So we went and talked on a panel and talked about investing outside of your market in other states. So we didn't do an actual live, but we were live in person and live. We were live in living color. um, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, so of course, the thing is with that though is that I think a lot of times you don't know what to ask, right? And I think that was the question
Yeah,
that somebody asked last night.
yeah,
What's that?
exactly. That was what she asked too. Yeah, like, hey, how do you, what she say? How do you interact with them? What do you say?
Yeah, right. What do you say when you call them? Yeah, that's exactly what she said. And I said, well, what you have to do is typically when you call a title company, you're gonna probably end up getting the receptionist, maybe an escrow officer. And the first thing you say is like, look, I'm looking to work with a new title company. What I want to do is I want to work with your marketing department. And they usually will have a contact number or phone number for you to call. So that way you can call that person. And then once you call them, you let them know what you're doing. You let them, and they understand, like the the marketing department for title companies understand why you need the list. Um, they don't know what marketing channel you're using. A lot of people think that you might be doing direct mail, but they do understand what you're doing for sure. And then once you tell them, they can source some lists. And here's the great thing is that it's for free, which is crazy.
That's what was big time free.
Yeah, free list. So, and like I said, I think most people don't use that resource because again, maybe they don't know what to ask, maybe they don't know how to approach it, maybe they don't don't understand what they're looking for, things like that. So I'm gonna change headphones because I think these just went out. All right, you there, bro?
Yep, I hear you.
I don't know if it's me, but I can't hear you. Let me change sound here. It's me.
It's not
Let's
me, it's you,
see.
Max. What's up, Brittany?
Let's see, guys. If you have any questions about the, if you have any questions on how to proceed with the title companies, don't hesitate to ask the questions. That way we can help you, and that way you understand how to how to approach them. So, um, what else? What else, Ryan? What else was your takeaways from last night?
Let's see. We got the network. We got title company, which was great. Um, your area, the breakdown of how you take your model and go to each.
Hold on, bro. I don't know if it's me or I don't think your sound's coming through.
Okay. Can you hear me at all? Nope.
Yeah, I looked at my stuff and it looks like it's all I'm connected so I can hear you, but I can't hear you.
Okay, bear with me. Let me check something here.
Can you guys hear Ryan? Yeah, okay. Jesse said we can hear you.
We can hear both of us.
We can hear both of you guys. I can't hear you.
Just read my lips.
Maybe I should read lips. Let's see. This is weird. All right.
Hey, put your other hat on, the IT hat.
Yeah, well, this sucks.
That's right. We're having technical difficulties, guys. Hang in there. Let's see here. Harvey says he can hear both.
So they're
of
saying
us.
they can hear both of you, but they saying they can hear both of us, but for some reason, I'm not hearing your. I can't hear you. So Brittany says yes, they can hear you. Let's see. Jesse said FaceTime each other. Harvey says we can hear both of you guys. Ryan, keep talking about last night. Let me see if I can figure out what's going on. Okay, go
All
ahead.
right, cool. All right, guys. Obviously, ask questions if you guys have any questions. But last night, mainly, guys, what we're really preaching here is get out to your local communities. If you guys are all local here, we should really be seeing you at the AZ RIAs. I believe they're monthly. You can reach out to me. And if you don't know when they are, I can help you find out where they're at, what time they are. They're all on the calendar, the AZ RIA calendar, but still, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Brittany's really good. She's on our team. She's our TC. She's really good at finding a lot of the local meetups. So even other ones outside of the AZ RIA, there's a few local ones that we like to go to quite a bit to network and meet other investors, other wholesalers, other buyers, money lenders. It's another one. But Zolan Group is a good one. I think that's once a month as well. Again, guys, hit me up for that if you are wanting to find out when that is. We also go to the Wholesale Sharks group quite a bit. That's really good for a lot of people who are in the beginning stages. There's a big one coming up at the end of this week, the All In Freedom event. That's Carlos Reyes' group. That's a pretty big event. That's Friday, Saturday. If any of you guys can make that, please do. I would go to the website, register, sign up. There's a lot of big speakers going to be there, big names. Ed Milet's going to be there. That's going to be a pretty good event. But the more opportunities you guys get out, show your face, meet people, interact, hear the lingo, it's just going to make you more comfortable in this industry and help you get started. And again, you may meet someone that you really, really connect well with, and that could help you get to that next step, that next level. Our team at Max Cash Offers, we all have different strengths and weaknesses. So, what one thing that I suck at, Jesse, Max, obviously really good at, so we can always lean on each other to make sure that, we're on the up and up and that we're putting ourselves in the best position. And that's what we want from you guys, to put yourself obviously in the best position, because this industry is pretty tough. One thing I found out, the long way is it's better to team up with people and learn as being on your own by yourself. That's a lot to take on, guys. So we definitely understand that. Thanks, Brittany, for putting that in there. Brittany again is amazing. She knows where all the meetups are. She's really good. Really good at a lot of things, but finding Facebook groups, finding buyers, finding deals on Facebook. She's just a lot of knowledge with that type of stuff. So we can always have you connect with her. Max, can you hear me? Doesn't look like it.
No, bro, I still can't hear you. So weird. Yeah, bro, I still can't hear you.
It's crazy. That's no fun. Any question, guys? Anything you guys want to put in the chat that we can answer for you? Any comments?
It sucks.
Anybody live near Max who is an IT that can go fix his microphone?
Yeah, because they can hear you, but I can't. That's really weird. I don't know what happened there.
I'm not sure. Just a couple other things. I'll just keep talking here while Max is figuring things out. As I mentioned, there's a all-in freedom event this week. We usually invite people over on Friday. So, guys, if you were planning on coming this week, please don't. We're going to be at the all-in freedom event Friday and Saturday. So we'll start that again next week. Next Friday.
Hey, he speaks.
Hey, that's my guy.
We're back, bro. All right. What I miss?
Just a small commercial. I was just telling about how awesome I am.
All right, cool. Brittany said, feel free to send me any meetups you may know of, and we'll spread the word. Cool. Where we left off, bro? What did you talk about?
I was basically just talking about the power in a simple way of meetups, all the different meetups we go to. Cool. Reach out to us if they're interested in going to some of the meetups, things like that.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, and this Friday we definitely are not going to be at the office, so there's no we're not having anybody come over to the office. So the event, hey, if you guys that are watching or going to the all-in event, come say hello. The whole team will be there except for Ryan. He's got some other stuff he's got to take care of, but we're definitely gonna be there. So come say hello if you see me. Don't hesitate to come. Carby, I don't know if you're gonna be there, but we'll definitely want to do that. So talking about so we talked about the title company, the networking. Again, I think it was really good as far as like, the other thing I think we're going to bring up that was coming up a lot is how do you two things I want to talk about. First is, when we need pictures, when we need boots on the ground, what are some tips that you can give people for that, Ryan?
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I mean, what we went through, we first tried connecting with realtors. We thought that was the easiest and most direct line, especially that they're experienced in that. And then we want to bring them business as well, because again, if they find us buyers, they could be the listing agent, represent the buyer on the sell side. Other than that, we have looked up some companies that take photos. I think you mentioned a company. I can't remember. We Go Look. So that was a company I think we've used a couple times. We've even done stuff simple like putting ads in Craigslist and Facebook. Hey, $50 to $100 to take pictures, and you'd be amazed by how simple it is to be able to coordinate action with getting pictures, getting things like that taken care of.
Yeah, I think even one really good one, let's say that We Go Look doesn't do it for you, or the other thing is going on Facebook groups too, right? Talking about like putting a post, pay $50, $100 to go take pictures. But the other thing is agents. I think that's another thing, right? I think we hit on is calling real estate agents that can go do that. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying, yeah, no, that's a good point. Right, agents. Again, they're versed in doing it. They can represent. There's an incentive for them to do it, and they're always looking for business, so it's a win-win situation.
Yeah, 100%. And the other thing with agents too is what's cool about agents is that they're held to a little bit different standard. Now, whether they abide by that standard, that's another story. But because they are licensed, right, they're probably going to be more, what is it called, more on the caution side when it comes to try to do any type of, let's say that you have it under contract and you send an agent out there. the likelihood of that agent just being like, hey, sell me the deal, that's going to be it's going to be less than sending somebody that you just find on one of the Facebook groups now. um and I think that's been the experience overall, right? When we are talking to agents, I mean, you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, no, they've been very receptive. I mean, again, they're looking for business. They're hungry. So there's not a lot of inventory on the market, as everyone knows, probably on this call. So anytime they have someone like ourselves, guys, take note, reaching out to them saying, hey, we have business for you, they're going to jump to that. So make sure you leverage those relationships, because they can be, one of your biggest advocates and bring any business, bring any buyers, or even bring any properties. It doesn't matter.
Yep, yep, yep. um yeah, because again, I'm gonna say that again about the obligation, right, and the standard that they abide by, right, or they yeah, abide by, is a little different than a wholesaler or somebody that that's not licensed. But again, whether they abide by it to the fullest of whatever it is, I mean, that's another story. But I would say that again, doing a post on Facebook groups, connecting with people. um, even the buyers can go and take pictures for you, like if you have, right, I think we've done that before as well, I believe.
Good point. Yeah, we have actually. I
Yeah.
was surprised. I remember when you first told me to do that. I was like, really? They're going to do that? And they do. They take video.
What's a good tip for them to when they are asking someone to take pictures? So they just randomly, what do you think would be a good tip for that?
I use what I learned from you. Which our language that we always use is just kind of, hey, you probably couldn't take any pictures for me while you're there,
Hmm.
right? Kind of being the sad puppy, right? Help me
Hmm.
out, please. Kind of an approach, and they're always like, oh yeah, sure, absolutely. And to take just a quick step back before I even get into that point, again, I'm setting the table as, hey, we want to do long-term business. If this one doesn't work out, it doesn't mean that the next one won't. So I'm
Yeah.
trying to set the plan for long-term table, long-term horizon. And then at that point, it's just, hey, you probably can't take pictures for me while you're there.
Yeah.
Oh, you can? Great. That's awesome.
Hmm.
Very
Yeah, and they've done
straightforward.
it, right? The buyers have done it, so which is great. But what's cool is that we don't just ask them to randomly take pictures, right? We have what do we have? Is it it's a template, right? That we have.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have that template or not. That I can
Jesse
show them.
has
Do we
it.
have it
Jesse
anywhere?
still on? Yeah, he sent it to me. Let me see if I can find it.
Cool, cool. Yeah, I
I know
want to
we
show them. I
can
want to
get it.
show them the template because, guys. So when you here's a tip. When you are asking people to, even the seller, because the sellers will take pictures for you, but you got to make sure that you direct the seller correctly, because what happens is that if you just ask the seller, hey, can you send me pictures, and you don't instruct them to what pictures, you're going to get pictures of the bed. You're going to get pictures of the curtain. You're going to get pictures of the door, a window, right? So you want to make sure that when you are asking for, if they can help you out, like Ryan said, hey, you probably couldn't take pictures for me. You want to make sure that you're instructing them what pictures you want. And the easiest way to do that is that it would actually, you want to send them a template, right, where they can, and don't try to complicate it. The You want to highlight the big areas that most investors look at, which is the kitchen, the bathroom, the roof. So those you want 2 to 3 pictures. Anything else like a bedroom, you want to do 1 picture. That's it. But you want to highlight the what do you call it, the those areas they're going to be looked at by investors, like a kitchen. You want to have at least 2 to 3 pictures from different angles of the kitchen, at least 2 pictures from the bathrooms, 2 pictures of the roof front and back, 2 pictures of the AC unit, and then everything else is okay. They can take a snapshot, and then if you give them that template, they have something to go off of. Because like I said, if you don't have a template, what's going to happen is um, you're going to just get pictures, like I said, of the window, of weird stuff. And there's been times when before we started doing this, we would get pictures. We're like, man, these pictures suck. But it was our fault because we never instructed the sellers on what to look for. But Roger, appreciate the fire emojis. Thank you, brother. Harvey says, I told the seller in Florida that we are a virtual company and we buy properties all over the state. We typically hire someone to take pictures for us, but if they could potentially do us that favor, yes. Let's see. I guess this is continuing. It would speed up the process for us. Worst case, we would just hire someone and we'll have them set up another appointment. Yeah. So let's see. I think there's one more follow up. That is very true. You have to instruct the sellers to get the pictures of what you're looking for, plus a walkthrough video. Yeah. So let's go back to this.
Max, I put the template. I slacked it to you.
Okay, perfect. I'll pull that up right now and I'll show it to you guys. So I told seller in Florida. Yeah. So that was another thing that came up, right? Like, and I think Michael asked this question specifically was, how do you build trust with those people, those sellers that are in another state, right? And Harvey, I think you nailed, you nailed it, man. Because the last thing that you want to do is want to tell us, oh no, I'm local, I'm a local buyer. Okay, so and then the next thing that's going to happen is they're going to ask you, when can you come to look at the house? Right now, what are you going to do? Right now, you're going to have to, one, backtrack. Two, you're going to have to tell them, like, look, eventually you're not local. Or you're going to have to tell them, well, I can't go. I got to send somebody else. What if they don't want to send someone else? So when people ask us, like, are you local or are you here? We do the same thing. We say, look, we're actually not local. We're centrally located here. Our central location is here in Phoenix, Arizona, but we buy properties nationwide, right? And we've been doing that successfully for years now. So we let them know that we're not there, but we also create that certainty when it comes to letting them know, like, we're buying property nationwide. And probably 9 out of 10 times, would you say, Ryan? What would you say is the what is it called, the reaction to that?
When we say we buy properties nationwide, they usually get more excited. They're like, oh, okay. It seems like they take us a little bit more serious, and then they start actually engaging a little bit more.
Yeah,
and questions and answers. They want to know where we're working at, because some of these people we're talking to, they buy and sell in multiple states too. So you could be finding people that adding the same buyer to multiple buyers list.
Yeah, and on your second part of your question is that you definitely if the seller can't do it, then you definitely, let's say you're talking to an older seller or somebody's got a flip phone, you definitely you're gonna have to hire somebody to do it for you. And then the last part is definitely you need to instruct them on exactly what you're actually looking for. Let me see if I can pull this up. See if I can pull this up for you guys so we can take a look at our template. Is really simple. So let me pull it up really quick. Let's see. Want to hit on anything, Ryan, while I'm pulling this up?
Yeah, you said something earlier. So, just since we're talking about pictures, the hit on that. So, I think Harvey mentioned video walkthroughs are crucial.
Oh yeah.
If
hit on that.
Video walkthroughs, it'll save you a lot of time.
How easy does it make it for the buyers when you have a video walkthrough?
That's it right there. The buyers, because a lot of times we don't want to go set up inspections, or it's tough to set up the inspection, or that delays the inevitable, right? Finally selling the property. So if you're able to get good, videos, interior and exterior, they will buy. They will buy on the spot. They will buy without any doubt. They have a lot more confidence in the price that you're asking. So if you want to get your asking price, it is best to have minimum of 30 pictures and a minimum of one interior and one exterior video.
Yep, exactly. So let me see if I can pull this up. I'm gonna share my screen. Let's see. Oh, I don't think we're gonna be able to see that. That's pretty small. Actually, hold on real quick. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to put it on Word, because that was pretty tiny, bro. Let's see. Need my glasses for that one.
Getting old, bro.
Let's see. Okay, perfect. Yeah, the video walkthroughs are, man, they love that stuff.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I like what you said, because like that would help them make the decision fast. You know what I mean?
Yeah, think about it, guys. Like, if you're doing the same thing, you get pictures and you're evaluating a property, how much easier is it if you have a video walkthrough and you see it? You're like, okay.
Yep, exactly.
So it helps.
All right, here we go. Can you see that?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Cool.
Nice.
So there it is, guys. That's the template. We don't complicate it. You don't want to get them confused. You obviously don't, if you want to add certain things, like let's say, so this template here for us, this is what we care about. But I know there's going to be some markets where it's blocking the. Let's see, let me move it over. There we go. There's some markets that you might want to get pictures. Remember this, depending on the market, you might want to get pictures of foundation, right?
Mhm.
You might want to get pictures if they have septic tanks, or if they have. Go ahead.
Or a well, take a picture of the well.
Yeah, if they have a well. So those things that you have to remember that you got to add to that template. But this makes it a lot easier. Now we can tell the seller, like Harvey was saying, we can have the seller themselves take those pictures, and now they have something to go off of. And this is just a simple template. Again, don't complicate it too much. And even if you, let's say the seller can't do it because they obviously don't have a smartphone or whatever, now you can go ahead and hire someone. And what's a better way to give them this as well too? When you do hire somebody to do this for you, so that way you guys can use this template. And again, you can modify it based on the markets that you're diving into, because again, depends if you're in an area where there is bad foundation issues. Like Ryan said, you have you have what is it called, septic tanks. You have maybe large landscaping, things like that, right? That are crucial to making a decision on what you're going to offer. So but that's it. That's simple. That's the template there. Ryan, you want to add anything to that?
Just something small you guys probably won't think about. Copy this template and save it somewhere where you're going to easily access it. You're going to be in time or situations where someone's going to ask you for this, or you're going to want to give it to them to guide them on what you need, and you're going to be doing 10 things at once. It's just really nice and easy. Like Max said, it holds you accountable, holds whoever you're having take the pictures accountable for exactly what's needed. The expectations are right there. You can't miss it, and it makes sure that you get pretty much, as long as you add everything you need to the list, make sure you get to everything that you need. It just makes it
Yep.
easy. Make it easy on yourself.
Exactly. So yeah, take a screenshot of that. And before I jump into one of the last things we want to talk about, that's going to help you guys too as well when you're buying virtually or another market. We're gonna talk about how to make sure that you have enough time to assess the. That's another topic that came up. I think people were kind of curious about that. Having enough time to assess the property, because when you're buying virtually, you're buying in other markets. You need to make sure that you got enough time to be able to make a decision, a correct decision when you're looking at properties. But all right, so I'm gonna take this down. Bring us back up here. So the the one thing that if you haven't screenshotted, let me know. I'll put it back up really quick. But the other thing too is that when you are investing in other markets, and let's say you got it under contract, but you haven't seen the property yet, right? You're still working the deal. You're still what is it called? You're still don't know what the property looks like, and you're waiting for the pictures. Well, guess what is ticking? What would that be, Ryan? What's ticking when you're waiting?
Mm, sounds like time.
Right? Time, which means that you're losing your inspection period,
Yep.
right?
Time is money.
So yeah, time is money. So one thing that we did is that, and that we made that mistake too, right? When we first started going virtual, we had uh, uh, the standard inspection period time frame in our contracts. We never changed it. But what was happening is we were taking a week, 2 weeks to get pictures, and by the time we got the pictures and we saw the property, yeah, we had to either decide to cancel or we're going to continue to push it. So what we did is we ended up changing the language to our to whenever it's in another market, not here in Phoenix, but whenever it's in another market, what we put is that inspection period to start. What is it? Is it
Once
as
pictures
soon one?
received.
Yeah, once pictures received. So once we changed that, now it helped us a lot more now, because once we got the pictures, that's when the actual inspection period. I mean, you want to talk a little bit about that? How that's been beneficial?
Yeah, absolutely. Just like you're saying before, man, it really put us in a pinch because some of these other states, just they work a little differently. Sometimes you know how it is getting in touch with sellers when you need to. They drag their feet, not knowing that we're up against a ticking time clock, as Max said earlier. So, um, anyways, the fact that sorry, I kind of lost my train of thought there, but anyways, I'll just finish with that. Like again, I agree with what Max said there.
Yeah. So, let's see. Josh said, "What up, Josh? What's going on, bro?" Josh said, "Money."
Money.
Um, yeah. So exactly.
Sorry, now I got it back, Max.
Go ahead.
Let me interrupt. Hold on.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So no, so anyway, I just want to. I lost my train of thought there, guys. Sorry about that. So one, again, we learned our lesson there, but two, it really relieves. Again, I think I said this earlier, but just to reiterate, the pressure to find the buyer, to make sure that everything is lined up. There's going to be some things that popped up that you didn't think about, and so that's always going to help you get all your ducks in a row. And as long as the agreement signed, you're good to go. You don't have to worry about trying to rush it. Again, that's going to put you in a bind and maybe have you make a bad decision.
Yeah. Looks, Harvey said that's a huge nugget in order to preserve your inspection period. 100%, man. You work less. You can work a deal with less stress. I think Ryan just mentioned that. And here's the other thing, though. It's not just less stress for you, but it also puts urgency on your sellers, especially if they're helping you out, right? Because this is something that you talk about before they sign the agreement. So you let them know, like, look, our inspection period doesn't start until we receive the picture. So the better we work together, the faster we can get this going.
Get
The
their money.
inspection period, yeah, get your money, and then close on a deal, and then get your money. But definitely, Harvey, that is true. That's in order to it preserves your inspection period, because you don't know what you're getting into. And we ran into that problem a lot. I know a lot of people are still running. Last night, it was actually a shocker when we talked about this for some people. I actually had two individuals at the end after speaking. They were like, dude, that inspection period doesn't start until a picture is received. They said that was like worth coming here.
Yeah, I forgot to tell you, one person reached out via email and asked for that language. So
Oh, really?
we helped them out with that today.
Nice, nice, nice. Yeah. Jesse said, how do you coordinate buyer walkthroughs virtually? You want to tackle that one, Ryan?
Ooh, man, that's a tough question. Why is he throwing all these tough questions at me? Jeez.
I don't know. I thought he was asleep already. Aren't you
Yeah,
Mimi,
I
bro?
know. You don't even wake up in the morning. What's wrong with this guy? All right, no, this is really good, guys. This is probably a question maybe that you never thought about until you get there. Then you're like, oh, snap, what do I do? So a couple different scenarios. You're gonna have houses that you're buying that where the seller, the owner is the occupant, or you're gonna have a tenant, right? And so whenever we have our buyers go by, they're going by in the mindset of being a general contractor for us to get us bids. Any questions on the house, redirecting that back to us, me, us, whoever is dealing, or whoever's working the deal. Do not speak to the seller. Do not speak to the tenant. You were there again as a GC to collect bids. Please direct everything back to me. You want to reiterate that. Make sure they understand. Does that make sense? Do you have any questions? Do you understand what I'm saying? Again, so there's no funny business. Everyone's on the same page. And again, if they don't abide by that, then they're not a buyer. They're not someone that you want to send and ruin the experience that you're going to have with the seller, blow up your deal. They're going to get blacklisted if they do that with us. And really what that means is they're going to miss out on other future deals because it's not just one deal with us. We've been here for years, plan to be here for a lot longer. And there's a lot of deals to be made. So that's something that we don't mess with. And we suggest, again, that you take that part serious and make sure that you're comfortable having that conversation with the buyer. If not, you know who to call. Reach out to me. We'll help you with that.
Yeah. So on that note, thank you for that answer. I think that was really good. On that note, what we want to do is we definitely want to help you guys out in any way, right? We say this a lot. Like I know there's a lot of people that say collaborate with us, send us your deals, but we definitely want to help you so you can see all the stuff that we talked about today. It's a lot. It's what we do in our business, right? It's not something we read. It's not a video we watch. It's not a YouTube, video that we watch and we came out here and talked about it. We've experienced it. We've went through the trial and errors, and we want to help you out. You know, one thing, like I said earlier, is that it's amazing to me that we get people that reach out to us, and they're in their market and we're not, and we're using the same strategy that we're using in our business because we know that it works, and we're helping them to get deals and be successful. So I think Harvey has one more question here. It says, what if you guys have multiple buyers interested in doing a walkthrough? Send two different contractors.
That was a good one. We just ran into this yesterday. Was that yesterday? I don't know if you remember that. Probably more Jesse remembers this, but
Mm-hmm.
Casa Grande property, guys. We had like 4 people out of nowhere all want to see it.
Yep.
All were in the vicinity. Like, can I see it right now? Like one after another. And the seller was actually at the property and gave us a window of time, 12 to 2. But this is a perfect scenario of, again, what we had to do. So I went right to Jesse. I said, Jesse, hey, what type of relationship do you have with the seller? Is he comfortable? Is he a little standoffish? Do we need to make sure that these guys, purchase sight unseen? How do we need to do this? So that's, one thing is talk to your acquisition guy, or if you're the one with the talking to the seller, you want to determine what type of relationship you have, because you don't want to sour that relationship. You don't want to push on it too hard. Jesse does a great job of developing a relationship. So he had the seller really comfortable. And again, we coordinated as we're getting multiple bids. When we added one on top of the other 2 right away, Jesse basically reached back out and said, hey, some of our general contractors are busy because they're all over the place, so they're sending one of their assistants. So we had to get a little creative with it, but again, it's really just setting the proper expectations with the seller or the tenant, and then having that talk with the buyers of, hey, here's a deal, here's how it works, please speak to me, don't talk to anybody else. And it all worked out. We actually sold the property.
Yeah, it all comes down to build that report that you build, right? Because if you don't build good enough rapport with your seller where there's trust, and I'm talking about not that, hey, I like your report, the more of I trust you and I feel comfortable doing business with you, you can do these things. I think that's the biggest piece of all this. Would you say, Ryan?
Yes, absolutely. It's the full process, the full setup. If you don't set it up right in the beginning, you lose privilege to be able to call the seller and put this, a scenario on them at last second. You won't even want to pick up the phone to do that. You won't even
Yep.
be an option for you.
Yeah, of course. Gold. Boom. Appreciate you, Josh. Thank you, bro. Harvey said has one more comment on that. He says, "Nice, that's awesome. Getting creative without pushing the boundaries. Love it. Yes, you have to. You have to. At the end of the day, we have a saying in our businesses. We work for the seller, right? We will not. We work for the seller, and we're gonna do whatever it takes to make sure that our relationship with the seller stays intact, not with our buyers. When the buyers are starting to try to get sneaky and try to get tricky, guess what? They're not going to go see the property no more, right? We are only going to work with those buyers that follow our process. So definitely, it's a thing that you have to balance. But again, it all starts from when you acquire the property.
That's a good,
Um,
good point, Max. Real quick on
but
that statement right there. That statement is very big, guys. I think that's a big piece in what we say. I've heard our acquisition team say it. We say it every time when we get a buyer, whether they're pushy or not. We make that statement just to set the tone, just so they understand how we work. And I think it also sets the tone of professionalism when we say, "Hey, we work for the buyer." So we're going to reach out to them and see what's convenient for them. And if that works, then we'll get you connected. But I think that's a very powerful statement to make sure you let your buyer know that.
yeah. So Alex Silva says, how do you tell the seller to only speak to you?
The
I think you
sellers,
covered this a little bit, right? I'll answer this one. So earlier, I don't know, Alex, if you heard Ryan's commentating about this. We don't tell the seller that. We actually tell the buyer. We 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 um we coach the buyers on what to say and what to do, because there's no way you're going to stop the seller. The seller's going to be curious, and then if you start to try the seller not to talk to them, believe me, it's going to cost. There's going to be caution flags going. So even if the seller tries to ask questions, our buyers are already pre-programmed that if the seller asks any questions, You're just there to take a look at the property. Any questions that you might have, to reference them back to us. That's really what we're telling the buyer. That's really what the buyer should be telling the seller. Because again, you really can't coach the seller. Look, any question, it's really hard to coach that. I don't think we ever done that or at all,
No,
right? I think, and we've never had any issues. I mean, would you? I mean,
not at all. And it goes back to what you were saying earlier. Is again, the proper setup is how you facilitate the entire process. If you set it up the right way, again, as Max said, you use the right tone, you build the relationship, and it's just, hey, this is business as usual. This is what's going to happen. Proper expectations make sense. There are not going to be any issues. You're not going to have to worry about it. But if you don't go through the process the right way, you don't build that relationship, that rapport, and you come across choppy and kind of like, hey, is this okay? You're going to get your teeth kicked in. It's not going to work.
yeah. Yeah, you want to try to, like I said, our motto is we work for the seller. So you want to try to protect the seller as much as possible. They're already going through, I don't want to say they're going through a lot, but just imagine they do this once, maybe twice in a lifetime. Your buyers, they're doing this maybe once or 5 times a month, right? So remember that rule, right? Your sellers are doing this once, maybe twice in a lifetime. Your buyers are doing this once, maybe 5, maybe even more a month. So the one that you should be coaching and the one that needs to understand how this should work is going to be your buyer. The seller, you just got to make them feel comfortable. Let them know like they're going to come through. They're just going to take a quick look. You could throw in there. They might have some questions. Who knows? But don't worry about that. You can, they're instructed to always bring us back the information. Probably as far as that. At the end of the day, you can like stop them and get them all feeling comfortable. So hopefully, Alex, that helped. Answer your question on that about how to make sure that it's your buyer that you're training, not that you're actually that's supposed to do the things that needs to be done for them to do a successful walkthrough. Plus, this Thursday we're doing a we're doing a open house, right, on one of our deals.
Yeah. Open house.
So that'll be interesting.
Thursday, yeah, that'll be fun. That's a whole nother experience and process. We can talk about that in another episode, how to facilitate an open house, how to schedule it, things of that nature.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess, Ryan, we covered quite a bit, man. We ran it back, covered quite a bit, stuff that we talked about, gave some tips on, what to do, how to talk to the title companies, how to get, pictures, make sure you're changing your what is it called? Your agreement to say, inspection period to start after pictures are received. Then we talked about what pictures to grab and then how to coordinate a walkthrough. But that's a lot, right? And it's a lot to take in. And I know that maybe there's some people here that they're not in a position to know how to manage all those things. That's what we're here. We do the show as well for, right? Because we're inviting people to collaborate with us. We're inviting people to come on and basically reach out to us. So you want to talk a little bit about how they can work with us if they decide to work with us, and if they want to reach out to us.
Yes, absolutely, guys. Please do. You'll see my name there, deals@maxcashoffers.com. That's the email. Comes directly to myself and Bino. Max is probably going to put my phone number on blast like he does every week. My cell phone direct number, I always give it out, guys. That's how open we are. 480-454-9796. Texting is best. You can call too, but I'm on the phone all the time. If you call and don't leave a message, I get 50 to 100 phone calls a day. So I check the messages. If I don't get your message, or if you don't leave a message, I might miss your call. So please leave a message. Send a
What's
text.
the phone number again, bro?
You know it, dude. 480-454-9796.
9796.
Yep.
I don't know it, bro. That's what I was asking. I just tell Siri, call Ryan. Call Clean Cut.
You have to use my voice when you call it.
Your voice?
Yeah. Call Ryan.
What's that? You're funny. All right, let's see. There you guys go. Boom. So that's Ryan's that's his actual phone number. So you guys can give him a call. FaceTime him at 2 a.m. No, I'm just joking. If you guys have a deal you want him to look at, help you Again, you see the email, you can text him, set up a call with him, so that way he can take a look at the deal. If you have any questions on stuff that we talked about tonight in more depth, definitely you can reach out. But make sure that you guys are always leading with value, and that's the only thing I ask when you do reach out to him, because his time is very important, and he's a very busy guy these days. So you want to make sure that you're approaching with value. And, if you have a deal that you want to work with us, there's also the form. Let me see if I can pull up our site so you guys can see the form for how you guys can work with us. Let me see if I can pull this up really quick. Oh, is it still down?
Yeah, I checked it today. I think only the Jot form link is up right now.
All right, let me check real quick, because, man. All right. What I'll do is, at the end of this call, we have a link so you can enter the information. If you have a property that you want us to work with together, again, like I said, you can definitely reach out to Ryan. And if you want to submit your information here, it'll go directly to him. So I'll put the link for this form in the description of this video once we're done. So anything else, Ryan, you want to leave before we
No, there's a
end?
lot of good information, guys. Pick one, two, run with it. Reach out. Don't hesitate. Remember, we won't be in the office this week, but next week, you guys are welcome to stop by between 3 and 4 p.m. on Friday. Reach out to me, though, ahead of time. Please text me, call me. Guys, we're here to help. If you've been listening to us, this week or the last few weeks and haven't reached out, I encourage you guys, I challenge you guys to reach out even tonight. I'll take your call tonight. If you have any deals you guys are working on, any questions with any part of the process, I'll talk to you tonight if you're willing to reach out.
Yep. Armando Alvarez, man, what's up, bro? Thank you for joining. We're about to wrap up, but make sure you go back and watch this. There was a lot of stuff we talked about. It's great stuff that actually is applicable, not just in theory, but definitely. Harvey, thank you for joining us. Thank you guys for all the
Thanks,
value you
Harvey.
said. So thank you for joining us and being with us throughout this whole hour, but appreciate it. So cool. Well, if you guys, like I said, I'll leave the link for you guys to. Oh yeah, don't forget this Thursday. This Thursday we're going live. I'm also going to leave the link for you to submit any leads that you want me to call live. This Thursday at 10 a.m. Live. We're doing the closers lab, and we're going to be talking to sellers live. It's been amazing so far. That way you guys can see how our sales process works, and what basically how we use it. And that way you guys can see it's not just theory, it's not just something we learn from a book, but it's stuff that we actually apply in our business. And
Amen.
that's how we run our sales process. What's that?
Said amen, brother.
Yep. All right, Ryan, this was a good one. Definitely share this with you. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't. Hit the like button, subscribe, and share this stream with someone that you think can benefit from everything we talked about today. So thank you guys. We'll talk to you later.
There, guys.